What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. So today I'm going to show you the fastest way to build your rear delts. And guess what we're not going to do? We're not going to use a light dumbbell like this and do a reverse fly. And there's nothing wrong with the motion because we know that the function of the rear delt is to get that arm back behind our body. But if you always do it in this straight arm fashion, which I've actually talked about here on this channel before, you're limiting the amount of activation of the rear delt. You're limiting the capacity of the rear delt to actually perform the lift. Because what happens is, we know again, extension, getting that arm behind the body. If I just take my arm and I do it straight, anatomically I'm limiting the amount of extension I can get of my humerus behind my body versus if I actually change the position, bend the elbow, and keep going back. I get much more extension of the arm back behind my body than I do when I go straight. Good. So that would say, well, this is probably a reason why you wouldn't want to do the rear delt fly, but there's another reason why you wouldn't. Because the rear delt, like the middle delt and front delt, it has a high capacity to handle some load. It's not the weak link that it's made out to be, where, oh, I can only handle 5-pound and 10-pound dumbbells to do it. Guys, it's got a lot higher capacity for strength if you allow it to. But when I take this and I do a straight arm reverse fly, what I'm doing is, because I'm increasing the moment arm by extending the elbow out on the rear delt, I'm dramatically inhibiting its ability to lift any type of weight. Because it's very difficult. This 5-pound weight gets heavy when I lift it out straight like that. So what we do is we don't worry about keeping it straight. We want to get into a bent arm setup. And the best way to do this is actually with the classic back exercise, and that's the seated row. No doubt this exercise will build your rear delts as fast as possible because we're going to be able to load it appropriately. Now, there's a few things you're going to have to do though. If I were to get into a seated row setup here, this is different than what you might see at a gym where you have the plate, you can put your feet on it. But this is what I have to do here. This is my counterforce for my feet. The fact is, we need to choose the right attachment because a lot of us will go and we'll use this, right? And we take this and we go and we pull, and we might feel a little bit the next day in the rear delt, but we're doing this as a lat exercise. And of course, it does train your lats because you're getting a good stretch on your lats out here, and then pull back, adduction of your arm into your side. The issue with this is the handle. We know that if I bring the handle, this is about as far as I can get, and this is going to limit the amount of extension I can get that arm behind the body again. Remember, just focus on from here to here, how much extension can I get back? If this handle is used, we're going to get stuck here. Now, you might say, well, just use a straight bar. All right, well, if I use a straight bar, instead of being stuck here, right out here, now I can get to about here. But what this doesn't solve is the secondary issue here, and that is the fact that it still keeps our elbows tight to our side. And I mentioned this being a lat exercise. The more tight to your side your elbows are, the more activation of the lats in favor of the rear delt. The way that we want to get our rear delt to take over here and do as much of the work as possible is to get those elbows out high. Get out of adduction. Get out of what the lats do. Let the rear delts do the extension of the arm. So what we do then is we add the long bar attachment. That's just going to get us the best effect because the long bar will allow us to grab out wider, which is going to take our arms away from our body here out of adduction. All right, so this is what it all looks like when we play it out for real. We obviously have a lot heavier weight than anything we would handle in some rear delt fly setup. We sit up nice and tall, arms are out wide, and we're going to try to get this upper arm back as far behind our body as possible. Okay? And again, the elbows are high. They're not tucked in down here. They're high. We come out, and come back, and drive them back. And you can see that rear delt fired up. And I can tell you, if you haven't done a seated row in a long time, you do these, and your rear delts will be on fire for the next 5 days, especially if you haven't done them for a while. And I'm not saying you're not working your back here. You can see every muscle in my back working. It's just that preferentially, because of the elbow placement and because of our focus on getting the elbow back behind our body into extension, we're really making the rear delts work here. And because the load is substantially higher than what we've probably used on the rear delts, you're going to see some quick increases here in both the strength of the rear delt and also the size response to it because of the overload. So the fact is, guys, if you're trying to train your rear delts, which you should be, just because you can't see them doesn't mean you don't need to develop them, then you have an option to see a lot faster growth if you stop thinking about just the things that everybody else does, those kind of lame rear delt flies. There's much better options, as you just saw here. Sometimes it's a classic old back exercise. So guys, I hope you found the video helpful. If you did, leave your comments and thumbs up below. Let me know what you want me to cover. I'll do my best to do that for you. If you're looking for step-by-step programs where we make exercise selections by applying a level of science to what we select. There's a reason and a meaning for everything we do in the gym. You have to apply that to your programs if you want to see the best results from them. All of our programs do that at ATHLEAN-X.com. In the meantime, if you haven't already done so, guys, please click subscribe and turn on your notifications so you never miss a video when I put one out. All right, guys, see you soon.